Hey everybody! My new semester of college started up last week, which means that I have been extremely busy. But as I've spent time at school and working on homework over the past week, I've thought a lot about the American higher education system, and specifically about the problems that it causes. The problem with the American higher education system stems from the fact that most universities are what are considered private universities, which means that they are ultimately in charge not only of who they accept into the university, but how much they charge those that they accept. This leads to often completely unrestrained hikes in tuition costs, and we see increases in tuition costs almost every year. This isn't a problem in most other civilized countries, where they have systems set up by the federal government to help pay the cost of college for their citizens. There are even some European countries, like Denmark and Germany, that pay the full cost of college for all of their citizens, and in some cases, even citizens of other countries. To be fair, the American federal government does have a system set up to help people who cannot directly afford the cost of tuition still attend college. This is often referred to as federal student aid, and it comes in three different types. There are the federal Pell Grants, which are actually pretty great. If you receive a federal Pell Grant, that money goes to the cost of your tuition and your cost of living while attending college, and you don't have to pay it back. However, the amount of money that is given is not enough to cover all of your tuition costs, and especially not your cost of living. Which leads us to the second type of federal student aid, known as the subsidized student loan. This is a student loan that essentially lends you a particular amount of money as defined by your financial circumstances that is interest-free until you leave college. Now, like any other student loan, you don't have to make any payments on it while you're attending college, but once you're no longer in college for a period of 6 months, this money comes due and you must begin making payments on it. The subsidized loans, the government pays the interest rate while you're attending college. But as soon as those loans come due, the full interest rate takes effect. Now, the third and final type of federal aid is the direct unsubsidized loan. These are loans that you still do not have to pay back until you are through with college, either by graduating or not attending for a period of at least 6 months. But, unlike the subsidized loans, the federal government is not paying your interest while you're attending college. So while you don't have to pay this money back until you're done with school, the interest continues to accrue while you're attending. But let's say that through federal student aid and money that you were able to scrape together from your parents and your own job, you've got enough money to pay tuition to attend an American university. Now you reach the second problem facing American students: textbooks. The textbook industry, just like the American higher education system, is run almost completely privately. So these companies, like private universities, can charge however much they want for their books. They often work directly with the universities to help set prices and textbook requirements, in exchange for the schools getting to keep a certain amount of money by selling these books at their own bookstores. For a while, American students were able to find a way around this through used textbook stores and buying books on eBay and Amazon. So to ensure that they could continue selling their exorbitantly priced new textbooks, textbook companies began packaging in online access codes for special online homework and learning labs. These codes could only be found in brand new textbooks and could only be used once. And the universities, to help ensure that they could continue making lots of money from these books at their own bookstores, began requiring their professors to use these online labs and homeworks. So now, once again, American students were forced to buy these super expensive textbooks whose prices could be literally anything. The final problem facing the American education system is the fact that because of the high price of college and the crushing debt of student loans that is facing almost every college graduate, students stopped majoring in fields that interested them. Students instead began majoring in fields that they felt would be able to get them a job right away after graduating college. So now, instead of entering into fields that genuinely interested them, like the arts or sciences, students now began majoring in things like business and engineering, which, to be fair, are really great careers which can get you some really well-paying jobs. But the problem we're facing now is that a lot of students are majoring in fields that don't interest them, and spend the rest of their lives feeling unfulfilled because they're working in a field that they're not passionate about. I myself fell into this trap when I first began college. I was majoring for my first year or so in broadcasting. Now, anybody who knows me knows that I have a passion for sciences, especially physics and astronomy. But because I knew that these are fields that are hard to find work in, I let financial stress keep me from pursuing the field that I felt most passionately about. But luckily, after taking my first broadcasting class, I decided I absolutely hated it and that it was not something I'd be able to do for the rest of my life. And decided to take what might be considered the more reckless path and followed my dreams. But even though I feel much better about myself now that I am pursuing the field that has always been my dream, the impending doom of my crushing student loan debt still haunts me. I can only hope that once I graduate with my degree in astronomy, that I will be able to find some sort of work that will help me pay these loans. Now, the problems that I've outlined in the American education system can't be fixed by simply waving a magic wand and saying, let's be like Europe and give free college to everybody. Because these universities and the corrupted education system that they help sponsor are far too ingrained in the American economy to just be simply wiped clean. There are, however, several politicians currently running for president in the United States that are advocating changes to the American higher education system that will help bring us up to par with the European nations. Most notably, independent senator from Vermont, Bernie Sanders. I'm not publicly endorsing any candidate, but if education is something that matters to you, Bernie Sanders and other politicians like him who are advocating this change to the American higher education system are definitely worth supporting. Thanks for sticking with me, guys, through a video that was a lot more educational than funny. I promise I'll bring the entertainment next time. Guys, don't forget to be awesome.